Dell.
Yeah, they're taking Quinyon Mitchell.
Wow. Did you break that? Is that you breaking it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I haven't seen it on Twitter yet.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news on the PHLY Eagles Draft Day show. Zach Berman breaks it. The Eagles are taking Toledo's Quinyon Mitchell at 22. They stay there. The Jason Candle Mount Union connection. Quinyon Mitchell went down to the Senior Bowl and blew everybody away, answered questions about his ability to play man coverage. Vic Fangio, presumably putting his thumb on the scale, wanting Quinyon Mitchell over Terrion Arnold. This is an interesting one to follow over the years. They have made this choice of the top two corners. They're taking Mitchell over Arnold, who comes with a better profile, but Mitchell, more height, weight, speed. And most importantly, the thing that we will remember, as Quinyon Mitchell joins Darius Slay to presumably start week 1 and eventually take over as the number 1 corner, is where you were on April 25th, 2024 at 10:42 at night when the news was broken by Zach Berman.
No, stop.
I have checked Twitter. I have put up the latest so I could see any Quinyon Mitchell tweets, and unless somebody tweeted it 5 minutes ago,
Zach got it.
ZB
and
is
the problem
your
is Zach doesn't even know because he's on the For You tab.
It's true, actually. I wasn't looking at Twitter. I was, but
let's get it in the chat. The chat is going. Here we go. Zach. Stop.
No, let's give analysis. Let's give analysis about what it is.
We got all night for analysis.
Yes.
Now is the time to celebrate
I should
you.
over there. No.
You broke it.
6 foot 195.
No, I correctly predicted it, but you broke it.
He ran a 4.33, like you said. Is Jason Candle the college roommate?
Oh, that's very exciting.
I don't know if they were roommates or not.
From Toledo. Was he? And let me see here. Sorry, you guys can.
Well, you just said you wanted to offer some analysis.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Quinyon Mitchell, like I said, Eagles have, and as you mentioned, the Eagles have a background with him. In Jason Candle, Vince Karras, second team All-American the past 2 years. What jumps out is the ball production, right? Like, 5 interceptions 2 years ago, an interception last year. But man, he gets his hands on. He deflects these balls. 25 pass deflections in 2022. 19 pass deflections in 2023. One thing I imagine Howie Roseman is going to say during this is that he aced every part of this draft process, right? So you do the film, the qualitative analysis from the film. Boom, he was awesome. Goes to the Senior Bowl against good competition. Boom, he was awesome. Bo was there. He can attest for that. Goes to the Combine, 4.33, okay? 10.2 broad jump, right? Awesome, right? So he's giving you exactly what you want at every step of the way. So that's what stands out to me. I spoke about my concern with Arnold being the speed, and that can sometimes being overstated. You don't have to worry about the speed here. Like I said, the 4.33 40, that jumps out in a big way. You wish the arms were, 32, 33 inches, not 31, but like you will certainly take 31 here on a 6 foot 195 pound frame. NFL ready, like Bo said, he'll step in right away. But you can't argue with this pick in that regard.
I love it.
I'm so happy you did it, Zach.
4.33 40.
You always bet on yourself. You bet on yourself.
Second team All-American 2 years in a row.
Super chat. ZB broke it. You're breaking the internet.
No, come on. I'm just working hard at my job. Second team All-American 2 years in a row, like I said, and then played for Nick Sirianni's.
This is going to be fascinating to follow. How Quinyon Mitchell and Terrion Arnold, I mean,
they're going to be linked.
I hate to, I mean, it sets up for a Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson situation where they have made this choice, and the other guy seems like a better profile bet, but I think it's very interesting, and I mean it is a departure from the preferences they've had in recent years. I will be really interested to hear or try to report out the level of influence of Vic Fangio on this selection, because obviously he's the guy who is carrying the weight in that room on that side of the ball, and because this is a departure from the things that we have thought that they cared about.
Yeah, and I think one of the main talking points has been, well, Howie Roseman has never drafted the corner, but it wasn't because he wasn't interested. It just didn't happen in those specific years. The stars did not align. Well, the stars absolutely aligned tonight. He had a choice of two of them who were considered to go. People thought they were going to go way ahead of this mark, and he sticks and he picks, and he takes Quinyon Mitchell, who runs a 4.33 40. The only man faster than him is Zach Berman, breaking the news.
Love that. Or fetching your car as a valet.
That's true.
True.
Yeah,
What do you think of the pick?
look.
Let's settle in.
You get the best corner in the draft, or you get the top corner in the draft based on your evaluation.
Yeah.
Based on your evaluation.
You sat at 22.
You sat at 22.
You played it right, patiently,
Yeah.
and you got the player who you thought was the best player at the position.
Yeah, I was not as high on Fatanu. I didn't like the idea of trading a second round for him. I thought Mims would be a good outcome at 22. Based on the players who were there, I like taking the corner. I like taking the corner certainly over Tyler Guyton. I really like having both second round picks tomorrow. That jumps out to me. If you told me they could get Quinyon Mitchell at 22 before the draft, I would have said that's a really good outcome. So I would call this a really good outcome. I still think the biggest hole on the Eagles roster is right guard. I still think they can figure out ways to do that. Maybe it's not a guard tackle type, as people have told me throughout this draft process, and they're right. This isn't, and as I'm sitting in the chair I'm in now, Professor Selman said, this isn't the only year you'll be able to draft a tackle, right? This was a good year. They'll be able to get Lane Johnson's replacement at some point here. To get, for the first time since 2002, to draft a cornerback. And like I said, 4.33, that's serious speed. I don't want to overstate a 40 time, but when the combine testing complements and supports what you saw on film, I remember talking to Bo in those Senior Bowl shows, and Bo was really impressed with Quinyon Mitchell there. So I get the only thing I said, and Bo and I talked about this when he was in Mobile or Georgia just got back. The Eagles typically go with big school guys, right? Carson Wentz was the only time they haven't gone with the like major conference player under Howie Roseman. But he played against Ohio State, held his zone against Marvin Harrison Jr., right? So he played well at the Senior Bowl. But I think the bottom line is this. Like I started this soliloquy with, you got the guy you rated as the top cornerback in the draft at 22. That's a good outcome for the Eagles.
We all silly like the mayor.